Well, that marks the end of a really interesting couple of hours in the sense that, as you can understand, quite a lot of the soldiers are reluctant to be filmed. Besides, my job was really just to get a bit of flavour of what's going on. Just the statistics, if you look at this place, it can deal with less than 100 beds. If you look at probably 1,000 times more demand than that available. What's fascinating though is three elements they look at: the prosthetics themselves, they build them themselves here. I've seen a £20,000 prosthetic, so these are very expensive bits of kit. They've also do operations here to try to help people recover from their injuries, but also then the psychological challenge they're all facing. One of the things I just hadn't realized was that inevitably there are about a third of the patients are suffering from some blood disorder, largely because they just can't keep the cleanliness at the front line. The piles of people being treated, the doctors on the front line just can't treat them the way you'd expect to in the UK, and therefore they just can't stop infections, and therefore there's loads of blood issues when people get back. The other thing I just hadn't appreciated was that inevitably, if you've had your leg blown off or some life-changing injury, probably that was a result of some explosion, and that's left a lot of shrapnel in your body. It would cause a lot more damage sometimes to take that shrapnel out than to leave it in. As a result, a lot of people are walking around with the shrapnel that will stay in their body because that's the only way to protect the limbs that are available. So it's quite humbling, actually, the whole journey here, watching some of the folks trying to deal with life-changing injuries, probably knowing that that they're getting the best aid possible here. But my goodness, does Ukraine need a lot more of the sort of help that the West can provide? Because otherwise, it's a fairly grim future for a lot of these folks who are suffering over here in Ukraine.